Okay, so today we're going to be making a strawberry banana tofu smoothie. Now this smoothie is going to be super simple for you to make in 5 minutes in the morning when you got a little time to make your breakfast, or you can even make this the night before and grab it out of the refrigerator on your way out the door. So when you're making smoothies, you want to start by adding your frozen ingredients to the blender in order to break them up into small pieces. This will prevent them from getting stuck in the blades of the blender as you're going along. So here I've added 3/4 of a cup of frozen strawberries as well as 1 cup of ice. And now when you have large chunks of ice like I do, you're going to start out by breaking up the fruit at the bottom, and then once you've turned off your blender after breaking up that fruit, you're going to go ahead and remove the lid and take a long-handled spoon and just mix the ice down into the bottom of your blender in order to get the ice down near the blades and get it broken up. So that is what you can see that I'm doing here. Go ahead and turn your blender back on and give it a few seconds to break up the ice just a little bit more. Now, if you're still having trouble breaking up the frozen ingredients, you can go ahead and add your liquid ingredients to the blender. This will loosen up your frozen ingredients and allow them to blend more. So here I'm going to measure out 1/2 cup of orange juice that I'm going to add to my blender. Now, alternatively, you can also use crushed ice, which will make this process a little bit easier, or you can crush the ice yourself by putting it in a Ziploc bag and hitting it with a rolling pin before adding it to your blender. But for these purposes, you just slowly add in your liquid while the blender is running, which will allow the liquid to kind of move around and break up the ice and the strawberry that we have here. And you can see that working at the bottom. And this helps the ingredients to circulate around the blades and break up a little more. So once you've added in all of your orange juice, go ahead and push your ingredients down a little further into the blender. Now, I'm doing this with my blender running. I don't recommend doing it this way, but if you're planning on doing that, the easiest way to do that would be to make sure that you keep your long-handled spoon at the top of your ingredients and not pushing down to the bottom. Otherwise, you're going to cause your ingredients to be mixed in with the wood from your spoon or the metal from your spoon, and that's no good. So I would recommend turning off your blender and getting all the way down to the bottom and mixing it in. So once you have that thoroughly blended, we're going to go ahead and add our tofu. So there are various kinds of tofu, and here I have firm tofu, and you can tell by the way it kind of bounces back when you squeeze and poke at it like this. Soft tofu is what I would typically recommend for smoothies because of the creamy texture. But all you're going to do, no matter what kind of tofu you buy, is dice it up into small enough pieces for your blender to break up and go ahead and toss them in. Now this is going to add some creaminess to your smoothie as well as increase the protein content. And for people who are lactose intolerant, it's a great alternative to using milk or yogurt in your smoothie. So go ahead and blend your tofu into the rest of your ingredients, and again, you can go ahead and move it down into the rest, just making sure you keep your spoon on the top of the ingredients and not pushing to the bottom. Now, if you're still having trouble blending, this means that you don't have enough liquid in your smoothie in order to keep it moving around the blades. So what you're going to want to do is go ahead and turn your blender on and just slowly add a little extra liquid until you can tell that the smoothie is starting to move around. You can see here that I just had to poke it a little bit and all of a sudden the liquid moved to the bottom and helped the smoothie to blend. So go ahead and just add, and you'll be able to see pretty easily if it's blending well. And you may just need to give it a little poke on the top in order to allow the liquid to circulate to the bottom of the blender and allow your ingredients to blend very smoothly. So once you have that going, you can go ahead and add your banana. Now, a tip with bananas actually comes from the way that monkeys open bananas in the wild. So instead of trying to open from the top, which can be a little tough to break open at times, you just gotta pinch the bottom of the banana till it splits open like so, and then go ahead and peel back the peel, and it's just that simple. It's easy, it's clean, and the banana just pops right out without any difficulty. And now I prefer to have my bananas a little on the extra ripe side, and you may get some spots, in which case you can go ahead and leave those out. But by having it more on the ripe side, your bananas will be sweeter and will add sweetness to your smoothie without having to use any added sugar. So go ahead and dice up your banana into small pieces that, again, will be easy for your blender to break up. And once you've gotten that going, there's no real trick to it, just a rough chop, small pieces. Go ahead and add that into your blender. And while it is off, you're going to want to use your long-handled spoon to get down to the bottom and really mix in those ingredients well. Go ahead and scoop up anything that you feel could be stuck between the blades on the bottom, and make sure you can get any of the solid pieces that may still be in your liquid mixture down toward the bottom of the blade so they can be broken up. Now once you add your lid back on, go ahead and run it for a few seconds just in order to get it nice and smooth. And once that's finished, we're going to add one last little bit of sweetness to this by using raw honey. Now the honey is going to not only sweeten it up, but it's not going to affect your blood sugar if that's ever something you'd be concerned about. I know in the mornings you're already tired, you don't want to deal with a sugar crash in the middle of the day, and so having something that is slowly absorbed by the body will be easier to avoid those sugar crashes, those energy crashes in the middle of the day. So add in a tablespoon of raw honey. In order to sweeten it up, just blend it till it's all set to go. And once it looks smooth, go ahead, take your blender and pour yourself about a cup's worth of smoothie. And you're set to go.